Alright, YTPC. Just get the tablet set up so that I can read comments when they come through. Let's see if I can get it set up. Going to be trying some of the Seattle Pipe Club Hood Canal tonight for the first time. Are you alright, Suffolk Piper? How's things? Trying to get the other tablets set up so that when any comments come through I can catch up with it. Really nice, a bit mixed. It was really nice this morning and we went out and it went over cloudy, and then this afternoon it came out nice again, and it's been trying to rain tonight, so bit of a mixed bag. How's it been your way? Yeah, pretty much the same here. I hate when this thing's been switched off for a while because it takes forever to try and get caught up. Pain in the neck. No beer tonight, just plain old coffee. Yeah, it was really nice here because got up and everything and got ready, got some washing done, got on the line, and then got ready to go shopping. And then as soon as I got on the bus, sunglasses on, the clouds came over and it was really cold and crappy. So it's always the same when you stick your sunglasses on. sun goes away. I was just saying earlier, I'm going to be trying the Seattle Pipe Club Hood Canal. So we get a few more people in. I'll crack that open and give it a try. See what it's like. Has anybody else tried it? Are you alright, Flat Cap? I don't know, I'm going to try it myself for the first time tonight. I've heard good things about it, so I'm quite looking forward to it. It says that it's a Balkan mixture of Latakia, Turkish Orientals, luxury burleys and Perique. So hopefully it's a good one. Just turn the fire down a bit. Alright. I think I caught up on that. Right, we're getting somewhere. So what's everybody been up to today? Cigar blend. Is it one you made yourself, Suffolk Piper? What tobacco did you mix in that? I don't know if you saw the video that I did earlier. I mixed a cigar blend last year, and Yanez Pipe and Tobacco sent over some at Christmas of his own blend, and he'd done a pressing, and I had a bowl this afternoon, and it's really dynamite stuff. What's on? Yeah. What? Can I have a minute? Can I have a minute? Come on, up on there. I think the problem with doing a live on a Saturday is a lot of people are out or out shopping and things like that. Obviously the time zones are a bit messed up on this. Obviously it's about 3 in the afternoon in the States, and obviously you're ahead in the rest of Europe, so it's kind of a funny one to try and get a time where you know you're going to catch everybody. The problem is with doing it on a Friday is you tend to have matches. 860 does his, so it tends to clash. That's an interesting one. I think when I did mine, I had a Chinchillero cigar mixed in with some, I think it was Balkan Delight, and then I think it was Saint Bruno I used as the base for that one. Wasn't a bad one, but I'm not a big fan of the Saint Bruno, so I think that sort of put us off a little bit on that one. Trouble is, it costs so much for a decent cigar these days. It's really not worth wasting it to put it in with your pipe tobacco. I think a Chinchillero cigar that I get, it's about sort of £4.75 for a sort of a little stick, and I think when I weighed it out, it was only about 10 grams. So it's not pretty much, it's not worth doing really. If you haven't tried it, pick up if you can some of the Key Largo or the Bankers. They are really nice cigar blend tobaccos. But I've got a couple more there that I've been gifted to try, a Robusto and a Westminster. So I'm looking forward to opening those and giving them a try and see what they're like. Right, anyway, let's get this tin opened and give this a try. Who's in there? A J. Cortez, right. Hello Sam, how are you doing? Just popping up some Hood Canal. Oh, yeah, that smells nice. Oh, it smells really nice. I'm getting the Latakia straight away. Quite nice little thick block cuts there. About a little, oh, that's the one I'm going to smoke. It smells quite nice, that. Have you tried this, Sam? Hood Canal? Well, I will tell you what I think about it in a second. It is, yeah. I got some plum pudding. There's a Deception Pass, and I got the Hood Canal to try. I got some of the plum pudding sent to us from Marcus to try because he kept saying it was really nice, and I must admit it's pretty good. Like, definitely worth getting yourself a tub if you can. Right, well, let's give this a go. I'm smoking my Ben Wade Woodsman, no filter. It looks like a tree stump, doesn't it? Latakias are coming through in the retro hill there. Yeah, Marcus likes his Seattle pipe clubs. I don't think he's tried the Potlatch yet though, and I nearly got one of that myself, but I didn't bother, so I think that'll probably be on the next one to try. Are you alright, Kirk? I'm good, thanks. Thanks for stopping by. Are you alright? Are you alright, Trey? How's things? Yeah, I know. Potlatch, who would have thought we'd call it tobacco potlatch? Nice, Kirk. I actually got out in the summer house this afternoon, which was quite nice. Haven't been able to do that for a while. And this isn't bad. It's a bit like a subtle version of the plum pudding. The latte key is just a nice light sort of aftertaste. Black House H&H. That's good to hear, Trey. Are you going to any car boots tomorrow? Marcus, how you doing? It's open. Right. Do you not find that the Balkan Sassini has sort of like a little bit of a bitter taste? It's not like you to have an early night, Marcus. Must have been all those spicy chicken wings, was it? It's not bad. It's like a milder version of the plum pudding. I'm picking up the latakia, but it's not as dominant as what it is in the other one. Quite nice, actually. Evening, Tim. How are you feeling? Yeah, definitely, Marcus. I haven't had a chance to try the Bengal slices yet. Are you alright, Steve? I'm good, thanks. How are you? This one. You know, I don't know if it's me, but I might have to do a side by side, but I think this is really similar to this first pipe, the Sheridan's. That's good, Steve. Good to hear it. You're not on night shift tonight, are you? Oh, look at you. I start at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. This one. Good. Good. Nothing yet, Sam, but I'm going to be putting my tree beard blend in tomorrow and get that started. But it's only going to be in for about 48 hours. I'm not going to leave it in for a week like the last one because I had a right nightmare trying to get it out last week. I ended up having to dig half of it out. SH, you're welcome. I think anxiety and things like that's really important because especially to talk about. I know it's a very hard thing to do without having to sort of have people question you and give you that look. And so I think when you know somebody who's already suffered anxiety and gone through that sort of feeling themselves, it's always good to talk about it. But I think you'd be surprised how many people out there are actually suffering the same thing. I was talking to a friend tonight and he's lost a parent and he's been having a lot of anxiety issues over that, and we were sort of chatting about it, and obviously I've lost both of my parents now, so I was sort of telling him that I know what he's going through, I know how he's feeling, how some days you feel like you can fight the world and yet the next day you feel as if you can't get your head off the pillow, and it's trying to tell him that that is normal. You know, you are going to feel that you've had a major loss in your life, so, and you know, you can't just walk away from that. And otherwise, I mean, if you did, you'd be a real cold-hearted bastard. And but again, it's the old enemy of bottling it up until it really just gets to the point where you just blow. And that's what happened with me, is that I just went totally off the rails, and you know, I was on a self-destruct, and luckily I did get out of it, but it could have been a lot worse. It's funny, Steve, because I tried fishing years ago when I was a kid, and I could never sit still long enough to actually sort of sit there and watch the rod in the water, but it's probably maybe something I should try nowadays, because if you've got one of these things, you know, you can sit there for hours. Sam, it's a really horrible thing, and I think the best thing for me was because at the time when I lost my dad over 20 years ago, I was living in Berkshire, and I think the problem was because I had no family or close friends around us. I just literally went on an absolute bender, and I do think if I'd stayed living down there, I probably would have killed myself just in the drink alone. I had to get sort of back closer to home to try and sort of get myself rebooted and sorted out. So yeah, don't ever be scared to talk to somebody. Even if it's just the Samaritans, somebody on the end of the line, you know, or even just go and speak to your doctor. You're just honest, Sam. You say a lot of stuff that the rest of us are probably dying to say, that's the thing. Steve, I wouldn't mind if it was river. I don't know if I could get out under a boat onto the open water like. SH, to be quite honest with you, I think if I'd have been smoking one of these things at the time, I probably would have been a lot better. I mean, I've only been smoking this just nearly a year now, and I know I had a lot of anxiety last year because I had a problem with my health and with work and things like that. And I mean, I've said it before in a video that smoking this and presenting on YouTube, it has done wonders for me, like, definitely. Bolter's Lock. That's not the one that's in Windsor, is it, Tree? Yeah, I think it always just takes that little something to sort of make you step back and think, yeah, I'm definitely going wrong here somewhere. You're welcome, SH, thanks a lot. Sam, I hear you've put a bit of a fire up the asses of all the Trump supporters recently. And Hector was in the sidelines throwing petrol on it. Sorry, Tree, that's right, Maidenhead, yeah. There's a little pub when you go over the little bridge, isn't there? I used to actually go for a walk up the side of the river there because I used to park the car in the car park just along from Bolter's Lock, and then you used to have a really nice walk that took you right up on the side of the river. Really nice up there, actually. I used to live in Burnham. Sorry, Sam. Bolter's Lock is on the River Thames in Maidenhead. I thought, for some reason, I thought Windsor. Wrong direction. So, but I used to live near there, so that's what me and Tree are talking about. Or do you mean about the putting the fire up the Trump's arses? Good evening, Alex. How are you doing? Right. Yeah, I've just twigged what you mean now. Well, if we all had the same opinions, it would be a boring world. Just the trouble is some people don't like to hear those opinions. Good to hear, Alex. Are you still enjoying the new job? I have to say this Hood Canal's really good stuff, mind. It was about 20 years ago I lived down there, Tree. Good evening, Gary, or good afternoon, where you are. Good to hear, Alex. Sounds like a great time, Kirk. I don't know, Suffolk. I haven't seen Hector's yet. It is about 9:30 here, 9:40 p.m. here, and I've got the fire on. Is it the one you did today, Sam? I haven't really had a chance to catch up with any today, so... I'll have to go and look for it, give it a watch. Yeah, is it early hours of the morning that the clocks go, that the clocks change? Yeah, because I start at 7, so in theory it'll be 6 I'm starting tomorrow. I don't even know why they bother doing any of that anymore. We certainly do. It's a pain in the ass. Did they start doing all this during the Second World War as a way for farmers to work the fields for an extra hour in daylight so they weren't having to use lights on a night, and obviously drawing in the bombers? And it's just something that's never been altered. That's one of the things I heard anyway. Right, it is. Oh. Right, so they've been doing it for sort of the last 75 years for no reason whatsoever. Yep, we're losing an hour in bed. Well, they reckon we're going to be in for a great one this year. They're reckoning we're going to have about a 3-month heat wave. So it was pretty hot last year, so sounds like we're going to have pretty much the same again this year. Luckily, we don't really get that many hurricanes. We get some nasty wind, but nothing to sort of really panic too much about. All right, I thought it was something to do with the World War. Yeah, the GW word, Alex. You know, this whole Brexit thing's got the whole World War all fired up again, hasn't it? They've been really ripping into them lately about how somebody turned around and said, oh, well, we survived the Blitz, we can survive Brexit, and somebody happily pointed out, well, a lot of people didn't survive the Blitz. Seriously. It's just one big joke at the moment. Brexit. Fucking joke, isn't it? Right, as much as that. I know you had a lot of the land girls, didn't they? They sort of came up to help in the fields. BBS. I knew there'd be Brexit in there somewhere. Well, come on, let's be honest, it was a joke right from the start, wasn't it? It's just a way for all these rich bastards to squirrel away all the money in Cayman Island banks and stuff like that. As soon as the European laws started to change things where they had to declare all these banks, they shit themselves and concocted this whole crap and to try and get out of it. I mean, the big red bus, let's give the money back to the NHS. Yeah, right. I've got more chance of growing a third tit. Yep. The NHS, the one thing the Tories haven't been able to manage to sell yet. And they keep trying their damnedest to do it. Exactly. Yet. All the vampires are waiting in the wings for the chance to do it, though. It'll take us right back to the Stone Age. Anyway, getting back to pipe tobacco, I can't believe I couldn't pick up a packet of Clan today. I was well annoyed. I got myself all set to get some. Went to the tobacconist that I got it last time, sold out. All they had was Condor. You're not far wrong. What was it? Somebody joked that the last person to go into Westminster with an actual goal was Guy Fawkes. Or was it Noble Intentions, one or the other? Yeah, exactly. I think Alan Newell was onto something as well when he wrote V for Vendetta. It's funny, I've been reading Starship Troopers recently, and there was a passage in there, and it was on about sort of like kids and on about guns in schools and things like that, and just couldn't believe that when I was actually reading it. I thought, Jesus, yeah, it's actually happening now, sort of thing. That's the one, yeah. It definitely stuck with me anyway. Evening, John. How are you doing? No, they couldn't. John, are you enjoying a pipe and a pint? Yeah, I think we're getting a bit too political, aren't we? I usually try not to be honest. Just I'm sick and tired of this every time you turn the telly on, it's the same old shit. Saint Bruno. Sends shivers down my spine just mentioning the name. Not a fan. Although maybe I should try it now because it's a one I tried when I first started, but didn't take too well. I should maybe try the Saint Bruno flake. Get that one try. I was working my shifts out because I didn't think I'd be able to make the Nottingham Pipe show. I thought I was on night shift, so obviously I start on a Sunday night. So I thought, I won't be able to go. But then I thought that I'll probably be able to make it if it's a bank holiday, which it is, but when I've checked I'm on day shift, so I've been pricing up some tickets to get down there, so I think I can get a train at about 8:30 on the morning, and I think it's just over 2 hours to get there on the train, so one to look in for. See, again, Condor, I got a pouch through the week and I just could not get into that either. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm looking into it, so see how things go with this job at the minute. I'm stockpiling everything I can in the house at the moment in case it goes tits up. Which I've got a feeling it might. What's on? How are you? What do you want? Yeah, definitely, John. I'm finding now that some of the things that I was sort of tried when I first started, I've had the odd try again and I've actually enjoyed them more. But like I say, I got some Saint Bruno not that long ago and I thought I'd give it another try, and same with the Elizabethan mixture, I got a tin of that to try again. I just could not get into that either. What do you want? What? How are them? See, Latakia, don't think I could ever get rid of that yet. It's the first thing I ever smoked in a pipe and I just absolutely love it. Can't get enough of it. Stan, what do you want? What do you want? Hold on. Ollie. Come on then. No. What do you want? What's so? No, I've got the fire on. I've actually had to turn it down because it does get red hot in here. Come on then. I picked up some Latakia last week in Durham. It's a 75% Latakia, and I've mixed that in with my tree beard blend. So I'm hoping that that's going to, because when I made the tree beard, I used Squadron Leader, and I think it was just a little too light on the Latakia. So I mixed about 50 grams in there last week, and hopefully that's going to really pep it up a bit. Stan, what do you want? Are you alright, Andrew? I know it's a bit of a dodgy one, isn't it, Andrew, to try and sort of find that sweet spot where I'm sort of going to be able to catch everybody who's either not in bed or not going out somewhere. Take care, Steve. Have a great day tomorrow. I hope you get a few bites. I still haven't tried the 6 Demon bag yet, Andrew. I'm absolutely dying to, though. I can't wait. Take care, Suffolk. I'm hoping my battery's going to last tonight because it died on us last week. Right, so it's actually somebody who's made their own blend. Somebody was asking us before if it was an actual brand that made it, or was it just somebody who made their own stuff. It smells amazing. Right. Are you alright, Dunblane Piper? Yeah, Andrew, I used a, a Virginia base for mine called Luca, and I got like an insanely huge bag for under £40. I think I got about 16 ounces of it, and because I thought, well, does it really matter what base tobacco you use? Because obviously it's going to be the ones that you add to it for the flavourings, etc. That's going to be the real sort of core. But I've been quite happy with what's turned out with what I've done. But again, it's like, does it make much difference if you use a really good quality sort of base Virginia? And especially, well, I would imagine if you had a one that had a good age on it as well, it would really make a big difference. But I think for me, just experimenting and playing around with it, sort of, it's done its job. So I think next time I would maybe try and get something, maybe it's like a Saint Bruno or a Condor, to try and sort of have that little bit more flavour to it. I'm smoking Hood Canal tonight, first time, really nice. So that's a 2 out of 2 so far for the Seattle Pipe Club. I'm dying to try that Robusto. And the Westminster. I'm just too tight to open them. No, you didn't miss Heroes. Yeah, I got it off. Well, actually, the person who I got it off is no longer on eBay, which is a bit of a pain in the ass because it was a good source to pick up the odd pouch from America. Um, I used to get the Captain Black pouches for about £10, and that was with postage, so it wasn't really too bad. I've been on Cup of Joe's and looking for sort of like the really big bulk sort of Virginia tobaccos. I can probably get the same again for just as cheap, but obviously when you add on the excessive postage costs, you think to yourself, well, is it really worth it? Oh, grape, Sam. Love grape. My next order from Cup of Joe's, I'm getting the big 8 ounce tin. Absolutely love it. Second is the cherry. Then I would go with the copper because it reminds me of Terry's chocolate orange. Yeah, definitely, Andrew. That was the first thing I thought when I tried it. I think my next orders from Cup of Joe's are going to be sort of 8 ounce tins rather than, because now I've sort of got an idea of what I like. Rather than just getting the little 2 ounce tins, I'll probably start getting the bigger, bulkier tins. Really Dunblane. Oh, I love aromatics. In all honesty, Sam, I've got to admit that I don't think. I did try one Captain Black that I wasn't too fussed at, and that was the one with like the blue packet. It was the mild one, but I think it's been discontinued now anyway. I don't think it's the one that you can really sort of get anymore. I will, Sam. Yeah, it's the round taste. It's like in a blue. I wouldn't say that I didn't like it. It's just that I was a bit disappointed because it wasn't as nice as the others. It was like you say, it was just like a milder version of the Captain Black original, I thought. I'll have to try and catch that, Andrew. I think it's her who actually puts her name and address on the packages, because when I let them know that obviously I'm in the UK and to do a customs friendly sticker and everything, it's actually one of the employees' name and address that's on the sender. So that's quite helpful. Because I actually chose Cup of Joe's because I thought, well, if it was sort of looked at by customs, they might think, oh, Cup of Joe's coffee. So you sort of get around it that way. They don't get savaged, mate. We do if it gets caught. It's the only ones I've ever used, Tim. I've thought a couple of times of going with 4 noggins and a couple of others, but I thought, well, at the end of the day, I put an order and I get it within a week. So I think until something majorly wrong was to happen, I'll just stick with them. And again, I tend to keep my order with postage at about the $100 mark. So I tend to order maybe sort of 6 or 7 tubs at the most. So I think, well, if it does get caught, then I'm not going to sort of get slapped like John did with like sort of £250 charges. Oh, that's interesting. I would never order a pipe from the States again because I did get stiffed on a pipe. And to be quite honest, I know it sounds crazy, but I tend to find. Take care, Andrew. Thank you for stopping by. Enjoy your meal. I tend to find when I think that the tobaccos are cheap in America, yet the pipes seem to be really high priced. Yet in this country, it's the other way around. Pipes seem to be pretty cheap, yet tobacco is extortionate. I noticed a couple of Joes have got those factory second pipes in, cigars in, so I'm thinking of giving those a try, getting a couple of packs of them and get me humidor filled back up. Jesus, John. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, how can they charge that amount of money? Yeah, I think things like eBay, you're not too bad because they're not going to send you a sticker with like sort of Missouri Measham Pipe Company across the top of the box and things like that, so they know straight away they're just going to open it up and have a look and see what's inside. I think the great thing about sort of eBay and things like that, you can sort of tell them that, don't mark it up as a pipe or anything like that, so tend to get away with it. It certainly wouldn't make me wait because it'll be going straight back to the cellar. Seriously, got nothing to whine about for the cost of tobacco because honestly, it's like really, really crazy prices over here. But then again, I mean, we were talking about this before last time. When you do think about it, though, I mean, a 50-gram tub of tobacco, if I just have 2 bowls a day, can last me a week. So when you think about it, £15 for a week, it isn't that bad when you're looking at sort of £20, £25 plus for a decent cigar. Or I think somebody mentioned, I think it's about £9 for 20 cigarettes now. So I mean, you think you've got a 40 cigarette a day habit, that's a hell of a lot of money to be burning. Yeah, we get right up the arse, alright. Dunblane Piper, seriously, I couldn't do it now. I used to like the Romeo and Juliet #2. Excuse me. But because I had friends who lived in Portugal at the time, and I used to go over there quite a lot, I used to be able to pick up 25 for €75 through the duty-free shops. And a couple of Christmases ago, I thought, oh, I'll pick myself up because I like to have a cigar for Christmas after my dinner. It was like 25 quid for one. And I nearly shit. I was like, no, you're alright, mate. Forget about that. So I think I priced a box of 25 for just shy of £400. It's like, it's not happening. Michelangelo Ghost, good evening. Haven't seen you for a while. They are, John. I mean, that's why I quite fancy trying these factory seconds because they do seem to get a bit of a canny review, actually. Yeah, but when you think about it, £25. Here's the thing, Tim. I don't know if your dad was in the Cuban Cigar Club at the time. last time I was in, there was a guy came in with 2 cigars. And the girl who works in the shop came in and turned around and said to him, "Oh, we can get those cigars for you, but there's 10 in a box." And it was £800 a box. And he said, "Yeah, no problem, get it." Must be nice. Ask your dad, I can't remember if he was there or not. So yeah. Well, I certainly had a whitey today when I smoked Yanez's cigar blend. I had to wait in the summer house half an hour before I even tried to walk in the house. Yeah, you're not wrong there, Tim. Tim, you've had the factory seconds, haven't you? Or was it your dad got them? That's the ones, yeah. Yeah, because they do the... Is it the sweet ones, the 59 and the 99? Good evening, Simon. How are you? Has it gone or am I back? Well, that's the question, isn't it, Michael? Are they worth trying, Tim? I've had my eye on a couple. You haven't picked up this cold, have you, Simon? Yeah, you're best getting that checked, Simon, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, I remember seeing the video your dad did. He got them from them as well. Because that's who I was going to look into to get them from. But I spotted them on Cup of Joe's the last time I was looking through. So have they not given you a diagnosis yet then, Simon, or are you still checking? There's a shock. Yeah, you were probably in there 4 hours for that as well. Yeah, exactly. I think it was just under $50, Tim. I think it was about $48. Good evening, Jimmy. Well, Simon, I hope it's not kidney stones because I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That's the one thing that put me into hospital. Well, that's a good thing. Oh, that's not bad, Tim. Might have to look into that then. Well, I think with me, Sam, is they thought it was because I wasn't drinking enough water. Because I used to sort of have a lot of dehydration, so they think that's what set it off with me. And when I left the hospital, when they finally came out, I sort of got told that I had to drink, at least 2 pints of water, and so I think it's really just sort of down to your own sort of what you drink and what you do, and that just basically anything really, isn't it? But there's a couple of times I've had the odd pain in my stomach and I thought, oh dear God, I hope they're not coming back. So I do, ever since then I've always tried my best to keep hydrated, especially in the summer. Yeah, John, you're probably right, yeah. They always say that when you go to the toilet it should be clear. The only time it should be discoloured is when you have your first one of the day. Yeah, I can manage that in coffee, but water, no. Yeah, try explaining that at work when you're at the toilet every 5 minutes. Yeah, they never tell you you've got to drink 2 litres of beer. That goes through you just as quick, and it comes out clear. Yeah, they will, yeah. It's bad enough at the minute when you go more than twice. Definitely. It's not good when it's a 2 hour trip back home on the bus though. It's bad enough coming back from the Cuban Cigar Club on a Saturday, and that's just with coffee. Thank God there's a stopover at Durham. But you can always guarantee when you pull into Durham, your next bus is sitting there waiting to bring you back. So it's, well, do I pinch it and hang on for another half an hour, or do I wait for another hour? Yeah, Simon, I mean, I was never aware of it until I saw your video that you did. And I had it pop up a couple of weeks afterwards. Because again, I think I felt the same as what a lot of people do, is that they actually think it's a private club and they just walk straight past it and don't give it a second look. And when I went in, yeah, that's the one I'm on about, Dunblane. It's called the Cuban Cigar Club, and it's a great little shop. It's actually smaller than what I thought, but the great thing is, once over you used to pay a fee so that you could go into the smoking lounge at the back. But I think they dropped it. I think if you spend about £25 on tobacco or products or whatever, then they just sort of let you go through the back, and as long as you're smoking stuff that you've bought in the shop, you're allowed to go through and enjoy your bowl. I think that's how they sort of get around it, because it's classed as a sample lounge. But yeah, it's a great little place. Mm. They were talking, because apparently there's a big huge space underneath, and I think they're actually on about sort of doing it all out and having a bigger space downstairs for sort of people to sit in. I mean, we were there a couple of weeks ago, and there was only there was only 5 of us, but there was quite a few other people in there. So if there was sort of like the 8 of us that have sort of been going regularly, we'd have probably struggled to get in there for the afternoon. Right. Well, I'm hoping when this weather gets nice, we can start checking out some of the beer gardens in the area, because apparently there's a couple of nice ones just not too far from the Cuban Cigar Club, so hopefully give them a try. The last couple of times I've been, I've tried to do a video in the lounge, but obviously there's been other people in there, so I've never had the chance to do it. So are you smoking anything at the moment, Simon, or have you been on a no smoking day? Yeah, there's loads of them around here, Sam. You can't seem to go 3 shops for there's a vape shop. Alright? I've been really enjoying the Erinmore flake. For some reason I thought it was the one you couldn't get in this country. That's why I was surprised when I saw it in the tobacconists last week, and I thought, oh right, I'll grab a tin of that. Yeah, I'm going to try and grab a tin of that next. Well, that's not bad, Sam, because it's about 2 hours for me to get to Newcastle. Um, 2 seconds, I'll go and have a look. Right, I couldn't tell you because there's nothing on the tin. No, there's nothing on it. Sam, I was on about the Orlik slices because with it being made by the same company, I was wondering if that was maybe sort of like a European or American version of this. Um, I'm getting some sent to us. Bodie's sending us some over from the States. So it'll be interesting to do sort of like a trial and see what the two of them compare like. I'm probably a million miles off like, but I just can't understand why if we get the Erinmore in this country, why we can't get the Orlik. This does smell really nice in the tin, I must admit. You definitely pick up a fruity smell in it. Almost like stewed prunes. Well, I must admit, to say it's the first bowl, I've really enjoyed this Hood Canal. Yeah, it's definitely got that sort of plummy, pruny smell to it. Like a bit of like a licorice type smell as well. Yeah, quite nice actually. They're not bad sized flakes either. Well, when I first opened it, I actually thought it reminded us a lot like the original walnut flake, but I think this smokes nicer. I think it's got a nicer taste to it than that. But again, I smoked the original flake when I first started smoking a pipe and I wasn't 100% with it. So that might change now that I've had obviously nearly a year smoking the pipe, and I might find that I really enjoy it now. But the only thing I don't like about the original flake is that they come in those really horrible sort of Mr. Kipling plastic packets. Not really, not really nice. You don't get like a nice tin or anything. Sam, I thought that the Amphora Virginia was a bit bland. It depends, Jimmy. Sometimes what I tend to do is I might rub a couple out and have it as sort of loose on the side, and then I'll just do like a roll and stuff, and then pick out some of the loose and sprinkle it on the top, sort of get the pipe going. With the Ennerdale, I rub the Ennerdale out. Yeah, Mr. Kipling made tobacco, eh? To be honest, when I crack a tin at the moment, what I've been doing recently is that I've tried to get the tin smoked as quickly as possible and not really giving it a chance to dry out too much. But the two tubs I've got, and ones I've done for my other tobaccos, I just have the sponge in, so I just moisten the sponge a little bit and sort of keep it sort of within a decent moisture level. Well done, Daniel. Welcome to the YTPC. Is it just is there any particular pipe that you've ordered? Very nice, Daniel. What did you smoke before? Are you going under a pipe as a pure first timer altogether, or are you coming from cigarettes or cigars? I don't own a Peterson either, Dunblane. It's I'm holding off because I want one for my birthday this year. I want the 69 shape for my birth year. Fifteenth of July for me. Oof. Where's them 50 years gone now? Good evening, Cookout. Are you doing anything for it, Simon? Anything planned? It was my wife's 53rd birthday yesterday, so not that old. You what? Did you? You weren't meant to. Yeah, there's one that I like as well, Sam. I can't think, I think was it one of the Ashtons? But it's about £157 and it's, I've got this thing at the moment where I just don't want to spend more than £100 on a pipe, and I'm noticing that I'm sort of creeping further and further up into that price bracket, so I think sooner or later I'm going to break it. Brilliant, Simon. I think we might be going to Edinburgh. So if I do go up there, I'm looking forward to popping into the Leith Pipe Shop. Which I'm annoyed at because I used to live on Leith years ago and must have walked past it 1,000 times and never given a thought to pop in and have a look. Well, I did fancy a Fat Daddy Piper. There's one I've seen, and I showed it to Karen, and she's not too hot on it. So, oh, you're not far from me then, Daniel. I will Dunblane, definitely. Because I know Alex has mentioned before about trying to have a catch up. Oh, it's going to be busy, Simon. Could you imagine if your grandchild's born on the same day as well? How's that for birthday celebrations? Robbie's Bar, Dunblane. Best bar in Edinburgh. It's funny, you mentioned 13th birthday, Simon. We were talking about knives the other day, and I was just saying that when I had my 13th birthday, I remember my dad saying to us, okay, you're old enough now. And we went up to sort of like the local hardware shop, and they used to have this glass cabinet with all the sort of like the Swiss Army knives and things like that in, and my dad bought us my first lock knife when I was 13. He said, right, be sensible with it, look after it, take care of it. And you know, I was just so over the moon that I got my first actual official knife. And yet you see what's going on in the country at the moment, and it's just, it just beggars belief what's going on. It depends what you like, Daniel. I would just go with the typical OTC ones at the moment that you can get from sort of Tesco's or the local shops. Try those first. I've got one cookout and it's my favourite pipe. I love the Oceano 320. He was great, Simon, but again, he always sort of let us try things, and if he saw that I was being stupid or silly or anything like that, then it would be like, right, you're not doing that no more, sort of thing. So I always knew that he was really trusting me to allow me to have that, and I think instantly you have a respect of what you've got. You know, because you think to yourself, well, my dad's trusting us with this, I don't want to let him down. Take care, Andy. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. What's the minimum legal age to get a gun in the US, Sam? Thanks for calling, Simon. Hopefully when I get this wrapped up, I'll be able to pop over and catch you on your live. Speak to you soon. Take care, Simon. It is 10:46 p.m. here. I know, and I start at 7 tomorrow night, so that sucks. It's going to be feeling like the same. I'm going to be starting at 6 o'clock. Hector, how are you doing? I'm good, thanks. Are you? That's good to hear. Oh, so how did it turn out? Well, I think I'm reaching the end of this ball. I must admit I've enjoyed it. I've got some of my tree beard to load up tomorrow, Jimmy, and I'm only going to be leaving it in there for 48 hours. I'm not going to really press it like for a full week that I did the other week, because trying to get it out last week was just an absolute nightmare. How long are you leaving it in, Hector? Well, 48 hours will get you a crumble cake. I pressed the bag end blend for a full week. I'll go and get it and let you have a look at it. But I actually filled the whole press, and I had an absolute nightmare getting it out. I actually had to dig half of it out before I could force the rest of it through. But I'll go and get you and let you have a look, see how it's come out. It did come out pretty compact. That was after a week. Like I say, as you can see on the top, I had to dig half of it out, but that's rock solid. So, but it smells amazing. But just after 48, when I did the pirate cake, it was Tim that made us aware of it when he did his and showed his. That's after 48 hours. It's still, to be quite honest, that's still a good solid chunk. But again, there was about, how much? It's probably about 4 ounces there, about 100 gram. So again, it isn't bad actually. And I did notice a difference in the taste and the smoke from this pirate cake that I repressed to the tin I opened of the crumble cake. I thought this one had a bit more of an intense taste to it. But yeah, I pressed that about, what was it, about 2-3 weeks ago, and it's still a good chunk. So yeah, I probably wouldn't go above 100 grams. I took it as far as it could go on the first twist when I put it in, and then what I did was every 24 hours I gave it another half turn and just locked it back up tight again. It was mentioned before about releasing the pressure off before you open it for maybe 24 hours or whatever, but I didn't. I just released it, popped the lid and shoved it straight out. Doesn't come out easy, it needs a bit of a coaxing. I had to do the rolling pin method to get it out. It does work, but like I say, unfortunately, I got this whole jar in of the bag end blend, which was probably about 250 gram, but again I had to sacrifice half of it getting it out. So like I say, maybe stick with 100 grams max and you'll get a nice good solid cake out of it. Well, in that bag end blend, I've got the Luca Virginia, and there's 3 Captain Blacks in there. I've got the original, the dark, and the cherry, and I put in some Super Value vanilla. So I was quite surprised because I was expecting some of the juices coming out there, because like I say, I really did twist the arse out of that, like. But no, it came out quite nice. I'm hoping to. I'm going to leave it for maybe another week, and then I'm going to have a go at trying to see if I can get it sliced. Yeah, they're not a not a bad size, Sam. Yeah, that's what I noticed on his video. To just sort of release it for a day, maybe do a couple of turns, and that'll give it a chance to sort of maybe just spring back a little bit. I might try that next time, but like I said, when I've done the sort of 4 ounces or 100 grams or whatever, they've come out fine. It's just, I really, like I say, because I really packed that one in and left it for a good week. It was a pain in the ass to get out. It's just great to think that I can get sort of like a 250-gram jar down into a small one, and I'm not having like these big jars sitting all over the place. Definitely. I'm finding at the moment that I'm really enjoying flakes over loose tobacco. And to answer what you said earlier, John, I finally got to try the velvet, and it is absolutely gorgeous. They're alright, they were in here earlier. Stan was shouting on, wanting some attention, but I think they're away through in the living room and gone to bed. No, must have gone through the living room out of the way. Is Gary still here? Or was it just a quick hello and goodbye? Stan's not a fan, but Ollie doesn't seem to mind. He's quite happy to sit here and well, he, he actually waits and shouts for us coming through. Actually, when he sees us getting everything ready to come through here, he darts through and he's sat here waiting for us. Yeah, it's really nice, John. Uncle Phil very kindly sent us a tub up, and I've been really enjoying it actually. It smells amazing in the tub. You're welcome, Daniel. Again, if there's any questions you've got, all of us on here, I mean, I've subbed you. You know, you'll always be welcome, and any problems, just pop a message on somebody's video, and you know we'll set you on the right track. And I really do hope you enjoy it. Suffolk. No, I make sure I keep it out the way. Probably would try and eat it knowing Ollie. Be interesting getting that out the cat litter box next morning. It doesn't get more tightly pressed than that. I was thinking about doing that, Jimmy, actually. It had crossed my mind. You're welcome, Daniel. And again, any information you need, just give us a shout. We'll have you doing a YouTube video in no time. Daniel, before you go, just to let you know that we do a meeting in Newcastle once a month. And there is a lad comes over from Middlesbrough. So if you're ever interested sometime, I'll keep you updated on that one. Yeah, definitely a shite smoke. To be honest with you, Hector, I found it different in the taste. I thought, me personally, that the pressed pirate cake had a stronger flavour and a stronger retrohale. Because I actually did a side by side on one of them, where I smoked what come out the tin and what I did out the press, and I must admit, on the retrohale, I thought it was definitely stronger. But again, that might just be me. And you, Tim, I'll probably head over there myself soon. I'll see you soon, Tim. Daniel, if you're still there and you're on Facebook, look for our Facebook page. It's the North East Pipe and Cigar Allegiance. We can do, Sam, we can wrap it up here if you like, and we can all head over Simon's and see what he's up to. Welcome back, John. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I'm definitely getting the hang of doing these lives. You feel like you're interacting a little bit more, really, than just doing a straight up in front of the camera and doing a video. You get a bit more interaction with everybody, and it feels a bit closer, I think. I suppose if you did that, Jimmy, and obviously give it a good chance to dry out as well, it's can't see why it shouldn't go back to a good smokable condition. Cheers, John. Yes, I'm going to wrap this up, and I think we'll all head over to Simon's and see what he's up to. So thanks a lot for joining us and stopping by and saying hi. So I'll see you all over on Simon's. Thanks a lot for stopping by. See you.